Welcome to Auntie Chats and Tarot. Welcome in. Thank you for joining me here. Here we go. Collective. Let's take a look at the messages for you today. Remember, not everything may resonate. Take what is. Take what's resonating, what's helping you, what helps you to help yourself, what seems to be your story, what answers some of your questions, and leave the rest for somebody else. Or maybe it resonates later. Let's take a look at the message here today. Messages for a collective. I've got two cards in the reverse, the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. Pentacles in the reverse here for you. I'd say right now you're worried about money. Kind of do I have to hoard this money sense? You know, it's not really your style. Worried about your foundation. Just know you're protected. Everything's okay. Just try and settle down here on this topic. You know, if you feel like something's biting at your heels in this department, in this area of your life, with regards to funds and money, it's something about turn that into love. I feel like that's a little abstract, but let's get a little further here. Turn that into love is the success here. Remember the importance of family over monetary things. Something like that. Okay, family and connections over monetary things is more important than anything monetary. Nine of Swords, Page of Cups. Yeah, things are supposed to be more lighthearted and fun for you. Run with the things that are happening to you that are just spontaneous and feel right. Run with that, because you're getting caught up in something where maybe you've overspent, you're thinking about overspending, and it's worrying you. And so, like, an example that comes to mind is just an example, but to give you kind of a sense of the energy, is worrying about a particular gift you're going to give somebody, but it's out of your budget. That person would like just as much for you to spend time with them. And then you don't worry about the budget. And then after this experience, you realize this was more fun than any gift I could have given them. This was more meaningful than any gift I could have given them. This experience was a win-win for both of us. Better than any gift I could have spent and worried about spending on. That type of energy. I see you're very unique. You have a lot of unique ideas. Put those to work for you. Stop worrying about the monetary. Queen of Pentacles. I also hear stop worrying about competing with somebody else monetarily. That's going to show itself out. That's going to show what's really going on there without you having to do anything. Stay grounded. If somebody's trying to compete with you in that area, and it's an unfair situation, that's going to show itself. Stay grounded. Your authenticity, stay grounded in that. That shows out more than anything anybody could purchase for whoever this is you're worried about, or purchases for people, or keeping up with the Joneses. Don't worry about the Joneses. Sometimes the Joneses aren't happy either, you know, that everybody's trying to keep up with. Three of Cups. They're putting on a facade that they're happy, the Joneses, that we're all trying to keep up. We are all trying to keep up with. But, you know, isn't that the big joke, is that maybe the Joneses aren't so happy after all. Three of Cups here. Okay, so yeah, socially you're trying to show out in a way that you aren't comfortable, and it does have to deal with monetary, something monetary here. Remember, people that are for you won't be worried about stuff like this. People that aren't, or you're uncomfortable, or you feel like you don't measure up, or you feel like you don't have the good funding that they do, or you don't have the toys that they do, these are things that Spirit doesn't want you worried about. A life shouldn't be about these types of worries, is what I hear. And then you have to ask yourself, are these the people for me? Yeah, because I feel like it's a leap in another direction totally for you that brings about your balance. You've got the Fool here and the Temperance. So if you're feeling off balance, it starts with the money, but then it grows into other areas like, am I good enough? Have I done enough? Then it starts to affect your mental health too. A lot of worry here, a lot of staying up at night, a lot of not feeling good about self, and then having that turn into physical ailments too, this worry. Try and purge this. Try and let this not be important to you, and see how your health improves, how your sleep improves, how your physical improves, how that can be such a domino effect, negatively or positively. Yeah, there's definitely a balancing out, and you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's just a phrase that's used where you're just trying to keep up with, people that may or may not be actual authentic connections for you, okay? King of Swords here. You're too smart for this game of keeping up with others, okay? You do you. You're the unique. Anything you can come up with is better than any kind of toy, and by toys I mean like boats, big things, race cars, this type of stuff. All that stuff is fun, but it can't be, I'm feeling like the energy is that can't be all there is, or that can't be the nucleus, that can't be the core, that can't be the root. Nothing grows from that. If you've worked really hard and this is cherry on top type of energy, then I feel like, good on you and pat yourself on the back. But if it's the core, if it's the soul, if it's your soul now, rethink this, because that would be energy that you'd want to rethink. 8 of Cups and walk away. That card talks about walking away. You see what's hidden here. It's just something social. Do you want to walk away from this? And you feel like if you walk away from this, it'll be some sort of a failure. I think you'll see the exact opposite. It will be a release. It'll be a freedom from what's been trapping you and worrying you for some time. What else do we have here? Yeah, work on your self-worth, your self-confidence, because placing it, again, monetarily here or on things, when you should be thinking about how valuable your time is that you give to another, or the ideas that you have. I feel like you have terrific ideas that are extraordinary, that a person, like I say, would like better, spending time with you and an idea you have, than anything you could possibly wrap and give them. King of Cups, yeah, just sweet, undeniably sweet. You think of others, you know their character, you know what they like. You're the type of person who, just an example, would meet up with somebody, but you know exactly the coffee they want, and you'd be walking in with it warm and hot, piping hot, with some sort of snack you've also baked for them that they love. Just an example. That is better energy than a boat, let's say. In the bigger picture of things, I can see someone making an argument for the boat, but what I'm talking about is in the bigger picture, the bigger scheme of things. Do you want a boat, or do you want someone's authentic time? The Hangman on the side? And everybody will answer that question differently, but you get the energy I'm trying to convey here. Hangman on the side, yeah, give it some thought. See all the different angles here. This person you're so concerned about, there's one in particular that you feel like you have to give them some grand prize. If you were to ask them, and they were to sincerely answer, their answer would be something very simplistic from you, actually, that would please them most. also something about living beyond your means. If you're doing that and that's keeping you up at night, then it's a wake-up call to rethink that as well. Page of Wands, Two of Wands, I'm hearing, where has it gotten you? If you're living beyond your means, where has it really gotten you? And get to the core of that. Like, what has really transpired here with that kind of mentality that's made your life better? And if you can't come up with anything, then there is a very significant answer for you. Page of Wands, Two of Wands. You can do anything. This read is really about getting back in your corner and your self-confidence and belief in self, because you've got all the makings of doing anything you want to be doing, and for those that you care about to benefit from that as well. You just have to be inspired. It's like a little bit of a tweaking here. What's important to you, what inspires you, rather than following the Joneses and what inspires them. This is looking inward. What inspires you? Because you can make anything happen. You don't have to keep up with anybody. You're the trendsetter, actually. Two of Pentacles, it's on its side, but there's a clarity that needs to come through for you on that. You need to believe that. Because you're too much juggling, trying to compete with others or keep up with others. And it's a, calm, think, quiet time, what's important to you, really get clear on that, and then you move forward with some really hot energy. This keeping up with the Joneses is actually draining you. And you're showing up nervous and worried and confused and further away from your actual authentic self that you could be. So meditation could help you here, but it's really time away, time with yourself to really collect your thoughts, get away from the toxicity. The devil is out here now. The toxicity that you're playing in, get away from that. Really get clear and focused in on the energy you, A, want surrounding you, B, you want to be important, the things that are important in your life that you want to be important to others who are important to you. Not that they're important to you for what they can do for you, but they are important to you for an authentic reason. What else do we have here, Spirit? Yeah, and Spirit's saying, we got the message. Don't overdo it here, okay? Strength, self-confidence. That's what this is all about. Six of Cups. This may be something that you dealt with in your younger years. Your parents felt like they had to keep up with the Joneses. Something you grew up with here. This isn't a pattern you have to adopt. When you tap into your own self-confidence and you see your self-worth here and your uniqueness that is just off the charts and beautiful, you will no longer want to follow anybody else. You'll want to do your own thing. King of Pentacles in the reverse, but somebody in your life when you were a child was very much like about stuff, about monetary. And if they didn't have that, they acted very, I'm hearing inappropriately, but they acted very angry. They were very angry, and they put their value in stuff. And if they didn't have stuff, they were very angry about it. But you are very wise, and having had that experience, you can look back on that now and say, they actually missed the boat by making that boat so important. There's something like that where you are having an epiphany about how others handled monetary situations for you growing up, and how that didn't always mean happiness. In fact, it meant a lot of chaos, conflict, problems, not genuine, authentic happiness, which is what you're really focusing in on now, or questioning, because you've chased the Joneses here, but you're seeing that that's not making you happy. So I feel a willingness here, especially with the Hermit and the Hangman, to rethink things, to see where your success, Six of Wands, really lies. You're going to do it. If you have a little inkling of this, or a big, this is exactly what I've been meditating on, this message is for you. Or if this message is resonating and you're like, whoa, hold the phone. Yeah. Then this message is more confirmation for you to follow that train of thought, spend some time there. It may not be an overnight turnaround here for you, even in your thinking and your thought process, but it's enough to ignite some sort of thought here and change of behavior. I'll say that. 5 of Swords in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. No more competition. No more keeping up with the Joneses. It's not worth it. Like I said, probably 9 out of 10 Joneses aren't that happy anyway. That everybody's trying to keep up with. Let's grab some oracles here. And by that I mean, a lot of times healing comes out. This is for you. You're meant to be healed here, not chasing after something that eludes you and makes you nervous and affects your health. A lot of people some people are better than others at presenting a certain way about their life. And it's just a presentation. That's what we need to keep in mind as a whole. We all go through ups and downs, arrogant energy. This is what you're following, I think. This is what you're trying to emulate. And it goes against everything that is your natural nature. That's why it's not working. That's why it's coming out in other ways, like your mental and physical health. Not worth it. Toxicity, I'm reminded. Pay attention to the toxicity in your life. Where is it coming from? And how do you negate it? How do you liberate yourself from that? Set yourself free from past trauma. Exactly what I'm talking about. How do you set yourself free? How do you liberate yourself? I was saying it right as the card was coming out. How do you liberate yourself from the toxicity, the past trauma? This situation requires careful handling. Okay, because, especially if we're talking about people from your past, might be family members, you still want to have a relationship with them, and they maybe still see that monetary is so important. Maybe that's the heavy duty that wears on you, that you wear, that's very heavy. Like I feel like someone's weighed down by this type of mentality in their family, maybe. Don't be afraid to speak up, for one. And 2, speak up in a way that is respectful to them. I understand this was your way, and think about things that were positive because of that way that helped you. But this is not my way. And what I want to see in the future that was missing from that thought process, not from you, but missing from that thought process was the following. Something like that. A conversation like that. What else do we have? I'm very happy. Sometimes just saying, I'm very happy with the choices that I've made and the way I'm living. Falling in love with you. I take this as you falling back in love with you. I think you loved, as we often, as we all do when we're kids, we love people so freely, unconditionally, and we love ourselves the same way. Come back to that energy with regards to you. Beautiful. Communication improves. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is a big topic that weighs heavily on you, or you had an inkling of before hearing this, and now it's like, whoa, okay, now I'm really going to think about this more, and it weighs heavily on me. But I feel for a majority of you, it's already weighed really heavy on you. I can feel like it's tarnished your mental, your physical in a way that there is room and need for change. You'll do it. You'll do it. There's nobody like you, I feel like. Just extraordinary. Lean into that. Know that. Like I said, you shouldn't be following anybody. You're the leader. Ooh, okay. When you feel the magic sing, get into your own magic here. You are magic. You're the unicorn energy. Music could be significant, could help you get there. But it's about you and connecting with your spirit team and the strength that you gain from that, as well as being a spiritual leader. And that can mean simply, the concept isn't simple, but that can simply mean showing others how to live in this manner where authenticity and showing up authentically is the gift. Okay? In the middle of the bridge, this talks about compromising and meeting people in the middle and finding a good, peaceful collaboration and coming together based on compromises, well thought out compromises. Yeah, I see a lot of abundance here when you get this sense of self-confidence back and who you are and your natural magic. And you may just lead by example, like this spiritual leading that I'm talking about may just simply be by example because you're so happy and people are like, wow, what are you doing? What toy have you bought? Why are you so happy? And your answer can be, just something simple about authentically showing up. No toy needed. Okay, one more I'm just going to pull on the top here. For the wind that blows our sails. Yeah, this is talking about winds of change. The stars aligning and things working out and the winds just hitting just right, hitting the sails just right for grand change. Charm. Old soul energy, the dinosaur for me. Yeah. Come back to yourself and you'll remember everything you have already known. Peace, you'll know peace. Okay. And this one is, the fairy. Yeah. The magic. The fairy. Your very magic. That is your message, collective. I hope you've liked it. If you do, please do like, share, subscribe, comment. It helps the channel, helps me reach other people, helps the channel to grow. If you feel inclined, please do utilize the link below for Buy Me Coffee. I'd love to get a coffee from you. Thank you. And until next time, let's remember who we are and let's remember our self-worth. I love this message. It's a good one.